Today on Daybreak, we're going to talk about a new film, Not Forgotten, a documentary on autism in Ukraine. And joining with us is Matt Blick, the DP and editor, and Tim Miller on animation, and Tom Saxon, the scriptwriter. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us about this project, Not Forgotten.
The idea came to me after making many visits to Ukraine and working in orphanages for special needs children. We discovered that the level of instruction, of diagnosis, of health was very, very poor, and we began taking our own child psychologists who specialize in autism with us to Ukraine to at least help these people who were trying to work with children with autism every day. So that's how it got started about 6 years ago, and now we are trying to raise the awareness of the problem of autism in Ukraine. They are about 50 years behind in their information and the ability to diagnose properly. So that's what we're trying to do with this documentary.
All right, well, you have to figure out how to tell a story when you're filmmaking. So tell us about how you decided what to focus on and maybe give us a thumbnail sketch about what the documentary is about.
So basically, what Tom said, just adding to it, we really want to tell the story of the parents' side, just by seeing, their life story, what they're dealing with, in the culture. How do they fit in? How does their child fit in? And so we wanted to basically show, their hopelessness in Ukraine. It's very shame-based over there. If your child has autism, a lot of people look down on you. A lot of people will, even family members will shun you in a way. And it's very depressing. It's very hard to see that. And as we saw it through the interviews that we did, we just saw the need that they really need information on how to work with their children, how to give them a better quality of life. And so, we were there, and we everything wasn't depressing. We did have a couple of families that they were really working with their children. That was amazing to see because, as Tom said, they're way behind in terms of, their education and the resources that they have. And interview after interview just really, it was draining. It was draining because just being there and seeing the kids and just seeing, that they don't have what we have over here. We have communities to be involved in. We have centers to go to. We have support groups. We have tons and tons of material. Over there, they don't have that. We interviewed a specialist over there, and she said 10 years ago, they just started talking about autism more, with professionals and specialists, and before it was just a hush-hush. Mm-hmm. And so basically, we want to not only interview the specialist, but we wanted to tell the story from the parents' side and just show the need for information that these parents need. We were in a city in Cherkasy, Ukraine, and we interviewed, I'd say, about 6 to 7 families. Some of them were fairly close together. They did not know each other. A lot of the times the families, the mothers, will rarely take their children outside. If they do, it's to go play in the local park in their area. Sometimes they'll go to the grocery store. But it's just, because of that shame-based in the city and just the people they're with, it's very hard for the parent to go out and do normal things that we're all used to.
So who are you hoping will view this film, and then what are you praying for the response to be?
We're hoping to finish this film, this 30-minute documentary, and we're hoping to show it around the United States. Our perception of autism is sophisticated in the United States, and there are many extremely important organizations such as Autism Speak and others to get the word out. We're really trying to, in the end, raise some finances to get our top textbooks translated into Russian to at least start at the top of the education field so that they have the correct information in their hands. Then we want to go and really assist parents in establishing a central location where they could come to have their child properly diagnosed and can get help for how they deal daily with a child who is nonverbal and unresponsive.
Tim, I have a question for you as, somebody who is kind of putting finishing touches on the film. What is your takeaway? You have to watch very closely all of this. I wanted to ask what you kind of take away from seeing the film, and then what your prayer for the film is.
I mean, I guess I don't want to say the good of it is I don't have to see all the footage. That would be, that's heartbreaking in itself, the final footage would be. So I put the polishing touches on it. I'll be doing the animation to it. So I just take it that little step beyond, and the step beyond is to make it even that much more professional in the end. Because we don't want this to look like some student profession or student project or something. Not that that's bad, but we want it to be professional. We want it to be represent not only us as filmmakers, but also the kids over there, and ultimately represent Christ best, what Christ has gifted us and passioned us to do, not only in this profession, but also what God's put on our heart for these kids, for the Ukraine, and ultimately to get, God's glory out there. So that's ultimately what we do, and that's our prayer. The prayer is, my prayer is that God be glorified through our gifts and talents that he gives us, that the gospel goes out, and that these kids get help. I mean, that's the whole idea behind the name, Not Forgotten. These kids and these families feel forgotten. We can only do so much, we can only say so much, so we're putting our gifts and talents in order for these kids to be heard, these parents to be heard, people in Ukraine to be heard, where, like Matt said and Tom had said, like, autism is very heard of here. Ukraine, not so much, man. I mean, so we gotta bring it to the people that way. And if we can point it to God in all things we do, then that's how we roll. So.
Amen.
Do you have a connection with the church there? Are they open to learning more about autism and how they can react and respond and minister to those that have autistic children?
Yes, there are 3 churches that we work with. One in the capital, Kiev, called Holy Trinity. And one of my very, very good friends, who is a pediatrician, has been a missionary there for 15 years. And he attends that church. And so his participation in this project is to assist us in that very thing of getting a ministry started from the church to embrace these families who don't have the gospel, who are desperate for help, and to really reach out to them. And then we have in the center of the country, a town called Cherkasy. There's a church there that we have worked with that is willing to do the same. And then when I was a missionary for 2 years in Ukraine, I was working with a church in Odessa, which is on the Black Sea, and they're very open to doing the same thing. So I think that we have the advantage of having native Ukrainians seeing that this is a ministry possibility and not just Americans coming over and trying to fix something.
And we're talking this morning with Matt Blick and Tim Miller and Tom Saxon about the film Not Forgotten, a documentary on autism in Ukraine. And before I let you go, there are a couple places that people could visit if they want to find out more information. First of all, they can view this on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
And how do they do that?
You can actually go straight to our website. It's notforgottenthemovie.com. And from there, you can get to all of our links, to our YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter. Everything's right there. And also, we're in a competition right now, and this is what Tom was referring to, where we need, funds to finish the project. We are in a competition to receive up to $50,000. And the only way we can do that is if we get your votes. A first place gets $50,000, second to sixth place gets $10,000. And this goes only to nonprofits. So go to our website, notforgottenthemovie.com. You can vote there. It'll take you to the link. And for everyone for their help there would be greatly appreciated. This will help us to complete this project and really move the ball forward.
Well, thank you for your good work, and thank you for sharing your mission with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Deb.
Thank you.